But it started with a vision.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Fear is a choice.
Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. I want your dream to be so clear that when you wake up in the morning, all you gotta do is step in your dream. And the first step for me was seeing something I was not before I was. You can do it. Where you are is temporary. You will not be there for the rest of your life. I don't care what happens in your life. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care where you are. Every single day you wake up, if you're going to have energy, if you're going to have passion, if you're going to have drive, every day you wake up, you got to start with that vision. This is a mentality. Like, you got to live this. You got to eat this. Every single thing you do is not a cute thing. It is a way of life. It's got to possess everything you do. It's got to own you.
There's no reason to have a plan B as a distraction plan A.
I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see. I don't want to see what I think I can do. I don't want to see what I think is possible. I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't count the cost, if I was willing to go further than anybody else was going to do.
One problem, the violin. Because to do what you do, you've got to be a world-class violinist. Because if you don't, when you're moving around and being thrown around and still trying to play, you end up doing what you did, and that's missing loads of notes. And there were times when it sounded to me like a bunch of rats being strangled. Seriously, that bad. But you're not good enough, I don't think, to get away with flying through the air and trying to play the violin at the same time.
I don't think what you're doing right now is enough to fill a theater in Vegas.
That much movement made you not as great as you were.
Anytime there's a change to be made, you have to realize that there's somewhere else you want to be. And I wanted basically to be happy.
You can't do anything without faith. It's impossible to accomplish anything without faith. So I need you to believe me. There is still time. As long as there's breath in your nostrils, as long as you can wake up in the morning.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it.
So I need you to believe me.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battle you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no. That's your earned right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do.
You got to do what you were called to do. You got to do what you were born to do. You got to do what works for you, because if you do what works for you, you're going to blow up. It's in your DNA. It's who you are.
And then you get knocked down, you get back up, you get back up, you get back up, and you continue to throw shit against the wall.
Hey, get up. Yeah, get up. The light's not blue. It's not on. Okay, it's gonna go blue. have a vision, but listen to me. You are where you are because of who you are. And if you're going to get somewhere else, you're going to have to change something.
Hey guys, thank you, Tim. That was an awesome, awesome video, and I absolutely love the last line, right? If you want to get somewhere else, you got to do it. Listen, I want to welcome you to our Be Better Tuesdays. I'm Debbie Salmons, and I am outside of Plymouth, Massachusetts. I am a bit under the weather tonight. You can probably tell by looking at me. Hopefully you got the clues today on our Facebook group about what our topic was. Nancy posted a great message this morning. I posted a video. You know, we really want to talk about vision and the vision that each of us has for our own life, excuse me, and where we want to go. And understanding that that's different for everybody else, and often that vision can change and be tweaked. I know for sure that Nancy and Marie, and I'm pretty sure Tim, have used some of these techniques, and probably a lot of you guys have too, which are vision boards. And I usually create 1 or 2 new ones every year, depending. This is kind of for my life in general. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm working at. And then I always have one for business too. And these are specific goals and visions that I see for my business. Now, because I don't have much of a voice, and I don't want to be coughing and sneezing all over you tonight, I'm going to hand it over to Nance, and I'm going to let her talk a little bit about where she's going with this. And then we've got an awesome guest tonight that many of you haven't met yet, Marie Scally, who's going to share her ideas with you. So listen, take some notes, listen up, and then this will be around for follow-up and a replay. So, all right, Nance, it's all you.
Thank you. Of course, I'm Nancy from just outside of Toronto, Canada, and I'm so excited about tonight's topic because it's something that I've been looking into for quite some time now, and I think it works in, doesn't matter what area of your life you're talking about. If you don't have an idea of where you are and where you want to go, then you're never going to move yourself forward on any way stream, like anyway. You're not going to move yourself forward if you don't know where you're going to go. And I was just, I was talking to Marie tonight in the car on the way home from work, and if I was completely honest with everybody, and the truth be known, when I first when Debbie first showed me the product, the Keto OS, and talked to me about the low carb, high fat lifestyle, the ketogenic lifestyle, I mean, at first I wasn't completely sure that I wanted to do another diet. I mean, I needed to do another diet, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. Yes, if truth be told, I mean, I think every single one of us deep down knows that carrying extra weight on our body is not good for us. We all know that smoking is not good for us. There's a million things out there that tell us these things. And yet, intellectually knowing something and getting something in your heart or finding your why to make a change is the only way that a change is going to happen. Because I'm telling you, really, I mean, I could have rationalized all last year as I was in the wintertime lying in my bed in my PJs under my covers, because that's where I like to be with my iPad on Facebook and all that stuff, eating a creme brulee, justifying in my head, well, it's okay, it's just a creme brulee. What could that harm? But, I mean, it does harm something. So what was the difference between back then and July 5th when Debbie first talked to me? Well, I guess she talked to me sooner about this than that. I just wasn't willing inside change, even intellectually I knew. So what I'm going to challenge you all to think about is, why are you on this journey? Why did you decide to get to do a weight loss journey? Why did you decide to become part of Prove It, or to start drinking Keto OS? What is your why? Because it's your why that is going to propel you forward to whatever your vision and your dream is. It's great, we can all go, yeah, great, I want to lose 100 pounds. Intellectually, that's what I told myself. I need to lose 100 pounds. And that has not changed. That goal has not changed. I still need to lose 100 pounds in my mind, in my estimation. Listen, when I hit 80, all bets might be off, but at this point, I'm at 100 pounds is where I want to go. But that was the same in my mind back in January when I was under my covers in my jammies eating a creme brulee. I thought intellectually I need to lose 100 pounds. So why all of a sudden, what was that thing? And so I got thinking about all of that. And one of the things that came to mind and I was talking to Maria about tonight was, it was July 4th. I was in the car driving home from the cottage. I had sent Marie the Keto 123 link, and just because Debbie was so jazzed about it, and I knew she knew health things, and I wanted her opinion because she's a nurse, so I thought, well, I better find out if this is actually a legitimate thing or not. And truthfully, I guess I wasn't even really thinking then that I was going to do anything. It wasn't until Marie and Debbie got yammering about how they were both going to lose weight and look so good by the time Christmas came along. And instantly I started thinking, okay, wait a minute. I don't want to be the one left behind. I don't want to be the person that's sitting there still needing to lose 100 pounds, and they were looking so good. And I think it's partly because Debbie had already dropped 20 pounds. Like, I'd seen her do weight loss things before, and she knows I love her, and she knows I love her no matter what I'm going to say right now. But I'd seen her do it off and on, off and on, off and on. There was to jump on board. But once she hit that 20-pound mark, all of a sudden in my head, there was my why. I had a fear of loss. So I'm just asking you, and I'm going to come back in a few minutes, but I'm going to let Marie and Tim talk in a few minutes. But I want you to start thinking about, what is your deep down why? My why was, my two really, really good friends were going to start to lose weight, and I was going to still be over here chubby, needing to lose 100 pounds. I guess that's more than chubby, but do you know what I'm saying? And so that was my why. That's what propelled me to start and stick with what I'm doing. So I'm just going to pass it forward to Marie. I'll tell you, Marie has been a coach and a mentor to me for years. I think we're coming up on 20 years this Christmas. And I love her to pieces because her words of wisdom are so great. And I think if you can understand and hear what she's got to say regarding creating a vision and figuring out your why, you'll just transform. So I'm going to mute myself and invite Marie to come on now.
Thanks, Nance. So I've had a really rough day today at work, so I've made some notes. So just bear with me, because I am going to talk about the why. And like Nancy says, it's so important. It says here that the average 4-year-old actually asks about 390 questions a day. And of course, anyone who's got children, you know that. And the majority of those questions are, why? Why does this work? Why is that? So you can tell them, well, because it's a tree. Well, why is it a tree? What? And they keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you're either frustrated or you actually get to the answer that they really want. So, and that we need to find that inner child that's in all of us, and we need to start asking the same questions. Why? Because that is going to get us to the actual true meaning of something that's going to move us and motivate us, because it's internal motivation that's going to get us up and out and exercising or following the ketogenic diet or even building this as a business. It's that why, and you need to get to that why, because that why actually clarifies why we're going to do what we're doing. It's an intention that's going to move you to action. It's going to stir your heart. It's honest. It's ethical. It's all you. Everybody has a different why, and it's so interesting when you're sitting in a group and you're just telling each other, because it's like, wow, I never even thought of that. But it's what moves you. You really need, when you start asking the why questions, you really need to start listening to your heart. And you need to get out of your head, because we know the logics in doing a lot of things, but that is not going to get you up and out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning to do whatever. You need something that's motivated from your heart, and that opens the doors to your passion. We always think we need passion in order to have action, but it's actually moving into action that's going to unlock your passion. It's what's going to inspire you. It's going to keep driving you. Your why is your driving force in whatever it is, or any reason why you're actually on this ketogenic journey, and why you're taking the Keto OS, and why you are introducing it to all of your friends and your family, because you want them all to be healthier. As Nancy said, I am a nurse. I am the director of nursing in a long-term care facility. And I will tell you, the elderly are not there because they're old. They're there because they're sick. And we need to take care of our health now. And that's basically what we're doing. We're on, and I want to move myself now to the preventative side rather than taking care of the sick. I want to try and prevent them from having to come into long-term care. So I kind of looked up a couple of different interviews, and I found one that I thought would be a really good example. So this woman was being interviewed as to why she was starting a business. And I'm just going to read a little bit of what her question and answers were to herself. So the first one was that she wanted to make $10,000 a month, and that would be enough to pay her bills, to set aside some money for traveling with her family, and to invest in her children's education. It was good, and they're all great intentions, but they weren't good enough, she felt, that would get her out of bed at 5 in the morning and propel her to work all night if she had to on any special projects that needed to be done. So the first why was, why is it important to pay the bills and create fun moments with the kids and invest in their future? So her answer was, well, because I wanted the kids to grow up in a safe and fun environment. That sounds quite logical, but then the question asked itself, well, why is it important to provide a safe environment for the kids? The answer came because providing them with a safe and a fun environment would make me feel like a successful parent. Okay, so now we're delving a little bit deeper. So why is it important for me to feel like a successful parent? And that why made her cry. That's the why that got deep enough into her heart. And she said it was because my son is 10 years old, and I know that the clock is ticking. And in 8 years, he would be out of the house, going to school on his own. And never again would I have the opportunity to give him the childhood that I wanted to give him. There was a countdown on and a limited time opportunity, and it was now or never. If she was going to provide this amazing opportunity, this fun environment for her child, so that no matter as he grew up, he would always think back on this childhood, and she would feel successful only if she was able to provide that for her child. Yes, she was taking care of his needs. Yes, she was paying the bills. But what she said was, so at 5 o'clock in the morning and I need to get out of bed to finish a project, what's going to be more compelling? I need to get up because I want to make $10,000 a month to pay the bills? Or I need to get up because the clock is ticking and I have 8 years to do everything I possibly can to provide my kids with the childhood I've always wanted to provide them with. So, if you're not feeling motivated, your why is not strong enough to pull you through the rough spots and make you push yourself to do the things when you really don't want to do them. And you know you're going to have a lot more of those moments than you are the success moments. And that's the rocky ride that we're all on when we set a goal and a time limit. Because we want it to happen tomorrow. And we know that that's not what is going to happen. I took a sustainability program at work. And of course, anything that you do, you want it to be to sustain. And I will tell you, when you find your true why and it comes from you, it's internal, it's self-motivated. I can come down on all the people that I work with, and that's external motivation. You know what, you need to do this or else. That's not sustainable, because the moment my back is turned, what's motivating them to keep that action going? And that's where your why comes in. And only you can find your true why. You need to dig down. This sustainability program says you need to go down at least 5 whys. Now, this woman went down 3 before she actually started to cry, because all of a sudden then, in her heart of hearts, she knew the true reason for her why she had to do her business, why she had to go against all odds, get up early in the morning, or have to do an all-nighter, because the time, the clock was ticking for her. So your why has to be a very strong image, exactly what that video was saying. If you can't close your eyes and see your why in detail, then you need to dig deeper. You need more clarity. You need to get really clear on what moves you, and then you need to be able to visualize it until this compelling future is about as clear as your car that's sitting in your driveway. When you close your eyes, you're there. You're not only there visually, you're there emotionally. And like that woman, she could cry when she actually got down to the true why and what it was that she wanted to provide for her kids. We are all right now exactly where we are, and that is due to our previous beliefs and the visions that we held earlier about our future. So you need to do, what did they say? You know, if you always do what you've always done, then you always have exactly what you have right now. And nothing is ever going to change for you. And you know what? The next 2 years is going to happen, and the next 3 years. I will tell you, for the last 10 years, every New Year's Eve, losing weight was sitting at the top of my New Year's resolution. And after I sat down and talked with Debbie and talked with Nancy, I thought, you know what? I'll be darned if I'm going to have another year with that sitting on the top of my to-do list. And so I just want to wipe that puppy right off the slate and put on a couple of brand new goals. And as I just started going deeper and deeper and deeper, you know, I realized that, you know what, I'm not getting any younger. My children always say to me, you might pick out your bed because you're already working in an old age home. But I know that I want to be healthy. I want to be a great example for my children. I want to provide for them a wonderful future, one that is filled with health and wellness. 3 John 2 in the Bible says, may you prosper and be in good health. But the catch to that one is, it says, as your soul prospers. And people don't like that last part, and they tend to not usually say it, because your soul is your mind, it's your will, and it's your emotions, and you need to engage all 3 of them when you are setting up your whys as to what's going to motivate you to get up and do whatever it is that you need to get done. So you need to create a vision that moves you to do things that you've never done before, and you'll find yourself in some new and wonderful places in your life. And once you have your why, your true why, then the how becomes easier, and it becomes an enjoyable journey. Okay, thanks, Nancy.
I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong lane.
Marie, thank you so much. That was awesome. And I to Tim really quickly for him to talk a little bit about his vision, and then I'll go from there.
Hi, can you hear me, Nance? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
You're good.
Awesome. Yeah, because we're not going to be on very long tonight, I'm going to keep this short. Just going on what Marie and Nancy's talking about with the vision, and what Debbie showed us with her vision board. We all have different visions, hopefully, over our 40-plus years of being on this earth. from a kid, our parents asking us to actually, put in place what we think we need to do for tonight to get our homework done, or what we need, why we're doing our homework, blah 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 blah. We all have these short stints in our lives of vision, why we're doing it, what we're going to do to get that why. For me personally, I want to bring this back to Keto OS, why I'm doing Keto OS, because we could talk long about why we're doing this particular job, or that job, when we all have a house that we need to take care of. So it doesn't matter what we're doing, that's the why. And we have a family because we're taking care of, so it doesn't matter what we're doing, that's the why. But for Keto OS in particular, I found that in the last 3 months, my why for doing Keto OS is not just to lose weight. My why is because I'm able to feel better, I'm able to do more stuff for my family and my kids, and do more stuff for myself. As an actual physical person I was before, I'm able to do that. So that's my why now for me personally, is now whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to get to that. So it involves with taking Keto OS, it's involved in the ketogenic diet, it's involved in doing Be Better Tuesdays to kind of reinstate what we're all doing here, why, for the why. So I would challenge anyone out there that actually is taking this product, Keto OS, for a quick fix, whether it's money or whether it's to lose weight next week, all of it after they put it on for 25 years. They need to really figure out why and embrace that why, and then whatever it's going to take, that's what it got, kind of let it evolve, whatever it's going to take. And that's why we have to keep in our mind that years ago when we were doing all those little things to get to our why on our jobs and our family and our house, we have to do the same thing for this product and for this way of living. We have to keep in mind, if this is what we want to do to get there and it's not working, we got to change what we're doing to get to that better life with Keto OS. I feel that hearing for the last few weeks people online on Facebook talking about they're not losing weight, so blah blah, I don't want this anymore. They're not making the money they want, so blah blah, I don't want this anymore. They are misguided, and they've got off on the wrong journey. They've got off on the wrong path. And somebody needs to bring them back on. And I would challenge those out there that are listening, and even those that are going to probably replay this to listen to it, really find that why, because that why is really a lot more important than the what. The what you can evolve, but the why is so important. And once you figure out that why, and you work with the rest of us. Sorry, I'm hearing background noise.
To Tim really quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to mute.
Talk a little bit about his vision, and then we'll.
Can you hear me now?
Sorry about that. I'm not sure if you guys were hearing a feedback. I was hearing a feedback.
You're okay. You're okay now, Tim. It was Sharon. She wasn't muted. You're good.
Okay. So I would challenge anyone out there to actually really find that why. Concentrate on that why. Ask for help. We can help you find your why if you're not really sure why you're doing this. But whatever you're going to do to get to that why, we're all in that together. We're all evolving. We're all trying to figure it out to be better, to get to our why with the Keto OS product. Nance?
Oh, Tim, thank you so much. That was awesome. Hi, Sharon. I'm just going to, Nick, have you got a couple of seconds to talk about your why? Because you posted a video on Facebook this week that was really good about 6 months ago. You didn't care, and so just if you could give us your why, because you're just really kicking it out there, and I just wanted to hear your why. Thanks, Nick. Okay, so a couple of things from this evening, because I know we're going to keep it short. We're going to try and keep these a little bit shorter from here on in. So a couple of things, I'm going to leave you guys with some thoughts and some things to work on as we go forward in the next couple of weeks. And I haven't had a chance to talk to Debbie about this, and I hope she's going to be okay with it. But I'm really hoping over the next couple of weeks, what we could do is want to invite people on who are actually working on their why. I want them to come on and I want them to tell us what their why is, the why that gets you deep down inside. I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done in the past, and I encourage you to think about, and we will move our way through on this one. This is my written vision board, and it's got my 2015, what I visualized for myself, and they're just words. And I started it saying, I'll give you one of mine is, I see a person who is healthy, who is physically fit, who eats healthy, nutritious, wholesome foods. I see a trim, lean, wrinkle-free body, free to move with ease. That's just one of the things that I wrote down there. I highly encourage you to sit down, take some time, and think, what's your vision? What do you want for your life? And I put a whole bunch down here. This is not just one thing. This is my whole life, and I made it pretty because I have it hung on the wall by my bed. So before I go to sleep, I read these things out, and every morning when I wake up, as I'm lying there and the sun comes up, which never hardly happens anymore here because it's so dark in the morning when I get up, but I read it in the morning as well. So then I'm telling myself, what do I want for my future? So there's my part of my vision. So I highly encourage you, A, to get a vision of where you see yourself going. And then, just like Debbie, I have one that is my, this is my vision board. It's a collage of things. And I'll tell you, this was safe. This vision board that I did is a safe vision board. This was what I thought I could do. I did this last year. It was hard for me to do. It was emotional. It pulled at my heartstrings, because I hadn't thought for a long, long time what it was that I wanted for my life. And Marie can tell you, it was so difficult. We did this as a group of us. There was 6 or 8 middle-aged women who couldn't come up with a vision for themselves. Some people went so freaked out that they started to cry. It was not good. So this is not an easy thing to do. But I can tell you, it's as rewarding as you can possibly imagine if you could just spend some time and think about it. So what I'm hoping that you guys will think about trying to do is figure out, what do you want? If you want to lose 100 pounds, put a date on it. It's great that we all go, okay, we're feeling good, but what's going to propel you to push yourself forward? Now, it's not a sprint, it's still a journey, but put a date on it. Like I've got a goal in mind of when I want to be starting maintenance at this point in time. Excuse me. So those are the first 2 things. Writing something out for yourself and creating a vision board. And when you've got something that you feel comfortable sharing, if you want to just message Debbie or myself, we would really love for you to come on and share that vision with you. And then the second part to it is, when you're putting your vision, go deep down inside to your why. Like, why do you want this? What is it about this that makes you want to push yourself forward? And I'm so excited to hear everybody's whys, because I think that once you realize that your why is what propels you forward, there's, and as Tim said, my why changed. I started this, my why was because Debbie and Marie were not going to lose a whole pile of weight, and I was going to still be at 100 pounds more than I should be at. And so that was my why that propelled me to stop eating sugar, stop eating carbohydrates. That was my why, for sure. Hands down, fear of loss. I thought I was going to lose something, or I was going to be left behind. But I'm telling you now that as we've moved along this journey, my why has completely changed. My why has completely changed. I met people. I met all of you, and you inspire me with what you're doing and moving yourself forward, Sharon's post, Norma there, who's so close to her goal weight. Like, that inspired me more than you can possibly imagine. And now for me, it's that piece of significance. I want to be significant. And so in my mind, my goal now isn't just about losing a whole bunch of weight for me. That's there, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep doing it. But my goal now is I want to be part of Destin Schaefer's vision of sharing this with 1 million people. Do I think that I'm going to share it with 1 million people? Probably not. Do I think I can make a significant difference in a handful of people's life? Absolutely. And so my why that's gotten deep down is getting to that place of wanting to make a significance for other people. So I don't really have a visualization for us tonight because I think Marie did it so well. Marie, if you could go back to that passage to close us out tonight, if you could go back to that passage where you were saying how they visualized it. Do you know what it was like the last little that you read that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, you want to shut your... Yeah, so we'll do our normal visual, but Marie's going to read it out this time. So if you want to, everybody want to sit back and just shut your eyes for a sec. And Marie's going to do our visualization, our sort of visualization about what your life is really like.
So it says here that your why has to be a strong image. And if you can't close your eyes and see your why in detail, then you need to become more clear with what it is that you truly want. You need to get clear on the inside as to what moves you, and then visualize it until this compelling future is as clear as your car in your driveway. We are all right now where we are due to previous beliefs and visions of our future. Do what you always have done, and you will have what you've always had. You need to create a vision now that moves you to do things that you've never done before, and you'll find yourself in a new and wonderful place in your life. Once you have your why, the how becomes easier and the journey becomes much more enjoyable.
Thank you, Marie.
Brilliant, Marie. Thank you.
Debbie, do you want to say anything before we close out for tonight?
Well, I just want to say thank you. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Marie, for coming on and sharing that information. It's great. I always love hearing your wisdom. Thank you, Nance. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks everybody, really. And, you know, one of the things that Nancy said, too, that hit me is our visions do change as we go along, and we can tweak them. But I don't know, just closing my eyes to Marie reading that, I was able to sustain a very clear vision of what I see for me in the next 6 months. And that's remarkable because, as you said before, Nance, when we all kind of started doing vision boards and doing all this, it was a stretch. It's a stretch. And so it's a continued stretch and a continued journey, and we say that every single week. This is a journey to being better. And I just want each and every one of you to know that I am so grateful and honored to be on this journey with you. And hopefully I will be in much better shape next week, and we'll be getting fired up, and I'll be in Dallas. Can't wait to share it with you guys when I get back. Take care.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night, all.